everyone, and welcome to your Wednesday critique. So today's announcement is about Nuke and The Foundry. So I worked with them over the last few days to get a student discount for us. It is half price. We need to get 15 people signed up for it. And right now we have, I think, like 8. So we need to get some more in order to make this deal happen. Again, for $160, you get a 1-year license to the educational software of Nuke, of Katana, and a couple other software as well, Moto, I believe. And it's really great. There's no limitations on what the software can do. It's only what you can use it for. So it's basically like you can't use it to create commercial. You can't make a lot of money off of it, basically. You can use it for educational purposes only. Okay, so we've got a few images. We've got Tyler's animation here. We've also got Dani and Pedro's images. So let's go ahead and start off with Tyler, because you've been very patient, because you literally posted while I was recording the video yesterday, so I want to make sure to get to yours first. Okay, so good updates. Lots of tweaking of values to get the contrast into place. Also, just some other modifications going on there. I see, the first time I watched it, I noticed there's a pop right up here. You guys can watch it. There it goes, dink. And but I'm sure that'll get resolved. That probably is something that it happens a lot in the industry. It's like where a material file or something gets updated mid-render, and you'll see those popping throughout the frames. Okay, so some overarching stuff out of the gate is the saturation levels are better, but I think we can keep working with it. The biggest one is the sky, the background, the sky here, super saturated compared to everything else. I would pull back the saturation, specifically the blues in the sky itself. It's because of like the aerial perspective thing and the way that we perceive color and value in space. It pops the sky way forward on us, and it makes it feel much closer than it really is. The other big thing is for her, and it's not as apparent in this shot as it is in the next shot, but the kind of dustiness of her hair, and that's because you're probably using a blue fill light for the sky on her, which of course you would, because that's the sky color. But in a situation like this for a character, if you can isolate a separate sky dome light for her, what you want to do is you want to pull some of that cool value out. You want it to just like neutralize it to be more to be closer to white, and that's going to be because you want to maintain the hero color of her hair. Because what's happening is her hair is, like you can kind of see it in here, is like a rich warm value, but the second it gets like hit really hard with a lot of cool light, that warmth versus cool will just neutralize into kind of like what we're seeing here, which is just kind of grayed out. So we don't want that. It feels a little counterintuitive, but trust me, go ahead and hit it with some neutral light. I think it'll feel right and maintain the hero color. That's kind of the way that I do it there. Additionally, one of the things you want to watch out for are multiple shadows being cast by the girl on the ground. I see one here, and I see one over here. This is a common mistake. In fact, one of my very first shots in the industry, I created a double shadow, and it wasn't noticed, and I now close my eyes every time that shot comes on screen from the film that I worked on, and I will never look at it again because I can't believe I created a double shadow in an exterior scene. But basically all you have to do is, so you've got heat light coming in from this way, so this shadow is fine. You basically just need to soften or increase the radius in this one and soften that cast shadow onto the ground a little bit, so it's not quite as apparent. It's probably from like a fill value, but if you're seeing that that value, that shadow, it's because the radius is a little bit too tight. And generally speaking, once you get to that size, if you increase the radius to soften the shadow, you won't change the look of the lighting too much, so just give that one a try. Let's see. I see you're getting some better shaping on the house here. I think that looks really nice. The saturation levels on the house feel a little bit better. Again, you want to watch out for whatever's happening here. I'm not quite sure what that is. You see this line cutting across, and now you can see like under the fence, and there's just some wackiness going on there. In terms of these puddles, I'm wondering if we can get, and I'd have to look at some reference because it looks too perfect. It looks like a mirror that's cut out in this shape on the ground. I'm wondering if there's some distortion or just darkening we can get around the edges to make it feel a little bit better. And oh, in the first shot here, this depth of field is looking really nice over here, but like this is looking very sharp. I think pretty much anywhere back like beyond this point can go into a pretty heavier depth of field there. So we can allow that to fall back into the depths there, and I think that'll work really well. The sunflower in this shot looks much more saturated here than it does here. I like this value a lot. I think we can try and hit that here, and that's suffering from the same problem that her hair is, which is getting hit by the cool light. So try and maybe keep that in the same light rig as her, and then just try and neutralize that a little bit. While I'm on this frame, it also looks like her eyelids are a little grayed out, so maybe try and warm those up. In general too, there are a few like edging issues, like you can see it here if you watch the edge of the flowers, so just watch out for those. Not a major thing we need to fix like right now, but something to be aware of. And yeah, so okay, and then this shadow in here is getting a little bad drawing. This shadow in here is getting a little bit dark too. You can see it's kind of like what I call bulletproof in there, and you'd expect a little more light to penetrate into that space. From there, the other big thing that I should mention on this shot too is I think we can get more shaping on the girl. I know the light source is coming in from, it's coming in from behind her this way, and that sets up for the next shot. But from here, we like basically it almost feels like it's hitting her directly in the back. And I would kick it around this side just a little bit more so it comes in from this way and then creates more shaping. Like this area should be more in shadow in here and then down here too. But I think you can get away with kicking it around to the side a little bit. Boots are still feeling a little bit saturated, but we can let that go for now because I do want to maintain the I want the girl to feel the most saturated of the things in the shot, and I don't want to mess with that too much until we rebalance the light a little bit. And yeah, so same thing with her skin tone. I think her skin tone can get a little bit warmer too. But this is looking good. You're doing a really, really good job. And I would, yeah, just hit those notes and we'll take a look next time. But keep going, keep building. You're making some really good progress here. So really good job. All right, let's hop over into Dani and Pedro. So I got Pedro's up first. We got a Harry Potter reference here. And we've got this. So this is a nice like A/B test. So we can take a look. The first thing I'm noticing is that the color of this light feels like we can go a little bit more green blue and an actual color on there. So if I'm looking here versus here, I think this is feeling a little bit more neutral. I think you can push the saturation, that value just a touch more. This is a pretty straightforward, like this is kind of a single light setup. So you're not really, overall I think that you're getting in a pretty nice place. I think you can probably push the value a little bit brighter, like just a touch brighter. In fact, let's just go ahead and do this. Oh, my scratch disk is full. Huh. Hold on just 1 second while I clear off some space. Okay, I think I got cleaned up here. So what we want to do is going to take this, copy paste, make it a little bit brighter, somewhere in about there. And then I want to add a little more color to it, a little more blue and a little more green in here just to get this saturation point just a little bit higher. And now that feels a little bit more in line with what it is. So I would try and push those points and get it to that level, and then I think you're in a good spot, Pedro. So really good job on that. Dani. Okay, so this is a goofy one. So you talked about how this line is caused from the background plate. Let's try rotating that. Like you can take that sky dome and just pivot it around. And let's see if that moves, because that is very strange that is causing that. So I'm wondering if there's something in the sky plate, like a seam on the edge. But it seems so odd that it would just like eliminate the bump and eliminate the texture and all that stuff. So I would watch out for that. Structurally, I like the look of the shot. I like that you've got the cool dark back here and the warm bright in the foreground. Very clear idea of what our area of focus is. Like we're going to be focusing right in here. Cool. A few things that we can do to really amp that up. The biggest one is that we can create a little more brightness on the ground in here. Let's go ahead and just do that. So something like down here, as if the light's kind of shining down in there. And you can angle the light down so it kind of hits that point. So just a little bit more brightness down there. And there can be a little bit of shadowing in there from the bars and stuff if you want. But you can theoretically theorize that the light source inside would be bigger than that. And it wouldn't necessarily cast that many shadows. And at that point, you can flank off some of this so it doesn't quite get this high up here. And then some things to look into. I'm not quite sure why the stair is getting very dark, as well as these super hard edge square shapes in there. Additionally, as we go forward, it would be nice if there was if you rendered a reflection map or a reflection pass of these windows. And basically all you would do there is turn everything else in the scene to be primary visibility off, and then just make these window panes like reflective metal material, and then you can reflect back into the scene. And then you can get the reflection of the surroundings into those windows, and then you just add them over the top and comp, and it'll create a reflection of like what's going on over here back into the shot, or back into the windows, and then they'll feel like there are panes of glass on there. And I think that would work out really well. Some kind of like, actually, there's a little bit of brightness back there too. I would just keep all of that dark back there. And then there's some hard edge, like there's an edge there, there's an edge there to watch out for. But really, I think your main thing is to focus the light into coming down here, creating a pool of light down here at the bottom, getting nice rims on this stuff. You're gonna want to bounce a little bit more light in there. Allow this light to feel warm, because right now it's feeling a little bit neutral in there. And then, but yeah, all this stuff is looking really nice. So I think that should be your focus for the next iteration. And then we can kind of suss out getting some more, maybe some more bounce light up in here. And then the other big thing that you want to do, and this is kind of a thing with this set, is just pushing specularity into the road and into the crate and like the street objects here. Just getting some specularity there, because like even these apples have a sheen to them, and they're feeling very diffuse here. So that'd be my advice and my steps forward for everybody. Again, if you're interested in the Nuke, let us know. We got a good discount on the Foundry. And yeah, keep posting, keep lighting, keep going, and I'll keep critiquing. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, happy lighting, everybody.